I was kidnapped by a stranger on my 18th birthday. I dropped to the ground and pretended to faint. I lay there without dope. When he finally walked away, I pushed myself up in one breath. I pressed against the door panel and peeked outside. When I saw he was completely gone, I turned around and started checking the place that held me. There were only 2 beds in the room, but the floor was covered with the still bodies of young girls. I tried to open the window and escape, but thick wooden boards sealed it shut. Suddenly, I heard a faint sound coming from the pile of bodies. I held my breath to listen, but the sound disappeared like it was swallowed by the air. I thought it was just my imagination. I walked into the bathroom to look around. The walls were covered in old and new dark marks. The air carried the leftover scent of despair. I could feel how many girls had suffered here. I tried pulling the bathroom window, but nothing changed. I couldn't hold it in and called for help, but the echo had barely faded. When a woman's muffled cry came from outside, I pressed myself against the door crack to look out. There was no one. I followed the sound toward the window and saw that inside the pile, a girl in a yellow outfit was still alive. I rushed over. I pulled the white cloth off her mouth. I was terrified the sound would spread, terrified that man would come back any second. I pushed a cabinet to block the door with all my strength, then ran back to the girl. She begged me to save her in a fragile voice. I was hanging by a thread myself, but I told her not to be scared, then lifted her onto the bed. Right then, a violent crash hit the door outside. The man was back. He couldn't break in. My heart almost burst out of my chest. At that moment, I looked up and saw a vent on the ceiling. I stepped onto the nightstand and tore the fan loose with everything I had. The second he forced the door open, I climbed into the vent. The girl in yellow tried to follow me, but her injured leg made her wobble. She was about to fall. I reached back and grabbed her. I tried to pull her up, but the man grabbed her foot. I pulled with everything I had. The vent creaked under both our feet. I felt it was going to break any moment. The girl in yellow looked up at me. That look will stay with me forever. She was asking me to let go, asking me to survive. The next second, she released my hand. Her body dropped hard.